What is up again, guys? It's Jessica here and welcome back to my YouTube channel. There's nothing much going on right now, guys, but I made this short vlog because I wanted to shout to you guys. So this video will last long. And hey, I have something to tell you guys. I badly need your help right now, guys, because I'm very confused about our lessons today. I know you all guys know that I suck at basic calculus. So I want to say, or should I say, I want someone who could help me because I haven't catch up these past few days. Tutorial videos were not enough for me. I don't know, mas prefer ko yung may nagtuturo sa akin. So, the lessons are limit definition of derivative, differentiation formulas, application of derivatives, optimization, higher order derivatives, the chain rule for differentiation, and application of derivatives related rates. So hope someone will help me. Just send me a DM or approach me personally. Thank you very much and see you on the next video. Bye bye!
Pre, nakita mo ba yung vlog ni Cheska? Baka nangangailangan siya ng tulong.
Oo pre, nakita ko na. So, sige, tutulungan natin siya.
Pero di natin kaya pag tayong dalawa lang. Kailangan natin ng kasama.
Oo nga pre.
Tara, tawagan natin ang iba nating kasama.
Sige. Uy! Hey bro!
Uy, pre! Yeah!
So, willing ba yung team mo tumulong kay Cheska?
Okay, tatanungin ko ng mga kagrupo ko. Hey guys!
Oh.
Narinig nyo naman, alam ko namang hindi. Willing ba kayong tulungan si Cheska sa kanyang vlog?
Oo naman.
Okay, wait, sabihin mo muna.
So ano?
Okay, saan ba tayo magkikita?
Kita-kita na tayo sa bahay ni Cheska, sige.
Okay, sa bahay? Okay, good. Yeah, yeah.
So, see you later bro!
So ano, punta na tayo guys?
Tara,
Tara!
Sila ba yun?
Di ata tol!
Uy, sila ba yun?
Sila ata yun.
Oo nga tol! Sila nga tol!
Sila nga!
Tara, puntahan natin.
So, tara, puntahan na natin.
Sige, go!
Tara.
Did a full 180, crazy, thinking about the way I was. Did the heartbreak change me? Maybe, but look at where I ended up. I'm all good already, so moved on, it's scary. I'm not where you left me at all. So
Dito na ba?
Ha? Dito na ba ang bahay ni Cheska?
O, tara.
pasok na tayo. So Chess, nakita namin ang video. So nandito ako at ang aking team para tulungan ka.
Salamat guys! Tara na! Simulan na natin! Woo!
F prime of x is equals to limit of f of x plus h minus f of x over h as h approaches to 0. So ito yung given natin. So sa susunod dito ay i-distribute natin. Distribute tapos lagyan ng close parenthesis minus to. Kung ano yung f of x mo, yung given mo ay yun din yung ilalagay mo dito. So ito f of x minus 3x plus 7. So yan. Tapos over h as h is approaches to 0. So yan. I-distribute mo yung 5x at sa h. So ito, distribute mo dito. Limit 5x squared plus 10xh plus 5h.
5h squared, o, diba?
Yun. Tama.
Ano pa?
Okay, so 3. I-distribute yan. So 3.
Magiging 3x yan.
3x yan. O, tapos magiging...
Minus 3h yan.
Yan.
Ay, wait lang tol. Di ba 3h to tol?
3h nga. Yan.
Okay, yan sige tol.
Nakikinig ka.
Salamat sa'yo tol.
7. So ilagay mo yung 7 dito. Tapos squared yan. So 5x squared. Tapos i-copy mo lang yan dito. Tapos 3x. Yan.
Plus.
So may h. So over h as h
Approaches to 0.
which is to 0. So ika-cancel mo yung mga like terms. So ano ba yung mga like terms to?
Ito tol. 5x squared
Oh.
tol.
Ika-cancel mo yan. So hindi mo yan ika-cancel.
7 tol.
Yun, ika-cancel din yung 7.
Tapos yung 3x tol.
3x. So ang natitirang variable at number natin dito, chess, ay ang 10xh plus 5h squared at
minus 3h.
3h. So, i-bring din natin yan. Tapos, sa pag-bring down natin yan ay ika-cancel
Cancel
natin yung
natin yung
h.
h.
Ano mangyayari sa squared?
Maging h na lang.
Magiging h sa 3h.
3 na lang.
3. So, pagkatapos nyan, i-distribute natin yung 0. So, sa 5h. So, anong mangyayari sa 5? I-multiply mo yung 0.
0 na.
So, maging 0. So, ang final answer natin yan, dyan ay f prime of x is equals to 10x minus 3. At yan na yung final answer natin. Yan yung
Salamat sa'yo tol.
So the example number 2 is f of x is equals to square root of 2x plus 8. So we're gonna use the limit process formula into the derivative.
Yes.
Yeah. So the formula is limit of f quantity x plus h minus f of x over h. So we're gonna substitute the given function the formula.
Wait lang. I have something to ask you. Di ba may h?
Sorry, h approaches to 0. So nakalimutan ko eh. Sorry. So we're gonna substitute now. So square root of 2x quantity x plus h plus 8 minus the f of x.
Yes.
So
To,
square root of 2x plus 8 over h. So the radicand sign in numerator is not allowed, so we're gonna use conjugate process in order to
in order to...
the radicand
Yeah.
sign to go down.
Okay, I
Go
know what you
down
mean.
into-
Diba, the radical sign, shouldn't be in the denominator.
The numerator.
No, numerator. Okay.
So we're gonna put down to the denominator. So we're gonna use the conjugate process. So square root of 2x quantity x plus h plus 8 So in order to radicand, so we're gonna change the sign to
Positive.
plus, so add, then the over, then over. So we're gonna multiply.
Yes.
Multiply. So if you multiply this, so the square root becomes 1. So 1/2, because the exponent of this radicand sign is 1/2. So if you gonna
Times. Multiply.
multiply each
Yes.
other, so it becomes 1, and the result is 2x plus h, quantity x plus h, plus 8 minus the quantity of 2x plus 8 g, then
G.
h. So we're gonna copy this h, square root of 2 quantity x plus h plus 8 plus 2x plus 8. Then this is now the new function. So limit of 2x plus h plus 8 minus 2x plus 8 over h square root of 2x plus 8. Then as h approaches 0, then we're gonna distribute the 2 to the
Each
this
other.
one. Then we distribute the negative sign to this
Negative.
equation. Limit of h. So we're gonna
2x.
2x plus 2h plus 8 minus 2x minus 8 over h. 2x plus h plus 8 plus 2x plus 8. Then gonna cancel the similar terms. So the similar terms are 2x. So we're gonna add this. Then the 2x becomes 0. Then the 8. So negative 8 minus 8 is equals to 0. Then the remaining one is the 2h. So 2h. Then h h plus 8 plus 2x plus 8. Then we're gonna divide h to 2h to h. So cancel the h, and the remaining is limit of 2 over square root of 2 times quantity x plus h plus 8 plus square root of 2x plus h. So we're gonna substitute the h. So as h is approaching to 0, so the value of h here is 0. Then we're gonna like this, 2 square root of 2x plus 0. So the value of h is 0. Then plus 8 plus square root of 2x plus 8. Sum up the answer. Then x plus 0 is equals to, the remaining is 2x plus 8 plus square root of 2x plus 8. Then we're gonna add a similar radical expression to, so 2 over 2 square root of 2x plus 8. So there is gonna invisible one here, just like algebraic expression that there is an invisible one. Then we're gonna cancel 2, we're gonna simplify it. Then the final answer is
2x plus h. Oh, 8.
so f prime of x is equals to 1 over the square root of 2x plus 8. So nakuha mo na ba kung ano yon ang derivative ng 2x plus 8, square root of 2x plus 8?
Kuha. Thank you.
So the next example is f of x is equals to x over x plus 10. So we're gonna use again the formula of the limit process. F of x is equals to f quantity of x plus h minus f of x over h. Then next, we're gonna substitute the given function to the formula. Then x plus h, because quantity x plus h plus 10 minus the x over x plus 10 over h. So next, we're gonna find the least common denominator of these two equations, just like in adding or subtracting functions. So the least common denominator is quantity of x plus h plus 10 times multiplied by x plus 10. In order to count the first term, so multiplied, I divide the least common denominator to the first term. Then if x plus h plus 10 is divided to x plus h plus 10 is 1, then the remaining is x plus 10. So x plus 10 is multiplied by x plus h. So we're gonna copy that, x plus 10 minus the next is the second term or the second equation. So x plus 10 is divided by x plus 10 is 1. Then we're gonna copy the x plus h plus 10. The x is multiplied by x plus h plus 10. Then meron pala ako nakalimutan. So the limit of the h approaches 0. Limit pala, kalimutan ko. So we're gonna use this FOIL method here. So the answer is x squared plus 10x xh plus 10h. We're gonna distribute the negative x to this equation. So negative x squared plus negative xh minus 10x over the denominator. Nakalimutan kong h dito. Then x plus h plus 10 multiplied by x plus 10. Gonna cancel the like term. So negative, positive. So here negative, positive. So the answer, the remaining is 10h. So di pala yung cancel. 10h over the x plus h plus 10 multiplied by x plus 10. Kalimutan, over h. So divide this function to the h. So cancel the h. Then limit of 10 over x plus quantity x plus h plus 10 multiplied by x plus 10 as h approaches to 0. Then as h is approaching to 0, so the value of h is 0. Then substitute the h to 0, x plus 0 plus 10. So x plus 10. So the answer is 10 or x plus 10. So it becomes x, remaining x. So x plus 10. So we simplify it by then the simplified form is x plus 10 squared. So the final answer is f prime of x is equal to 10 over x plus 10 squared. So gets mo na? Gets, so ganito magkuha ng function. So
Salamat sa'yo. Salamat. Oh, okay.
So now, I'm going to teach you the 6 differentiation rules. So differentiation rules, derivative is a function which measures the slope. It depends upon x in some way and is found by differentiating a function of the form y is equal to f of x. When x is substituted into the derivative, the result is the slope of the original function y is equal to f of x. So the first rule is constant rule. constant rule, the derivative of the constant is 0. So, example number 1. So, h of x is equal to 10. So, the second step is h prime of x is equal to d over dx 10. So, the third step is h prime of x is equal to 0. So, second example. So, f prime of x is equal to d over dx 20. So, f prime of x is equal to 0. The third example is g of x is equal to 15. So, g prime of x is equal to d over dx 15. So, the answer is g prime of x is equal to 0. So, as you can see, the answers is all 0. So, the reason is all constant number is equal to 0. The second rule. So, the second rule is power rule. If a function is defined by f of x is equal to x to the power of n, where n is any non-zero constant and x is not equal for any given n, then the derivative of f of x is given by f prime of x is equal to n x to the power n minus 1. So, gawin natin ay f prime of x is equal to d over dx 3x to the power of 5. So, so f prime of x ay, gagawin mo dito ay, i-transfer mo yung 3 dito sa unahan. So, 3d over dx x to the power of 5. So, f prime of x is equal to, so, ang 3 ay times mo sa exponent na 5. So, 3 times 5x at ang exponent ay 5 minus 1. So, the answer is f prime of x is equal to 15x to the power of 4. So, the second example, g prime of x is equal to d over dx 8x cubed. So, g prime of x, gaya lang dito. So, i-transfer mo yung 8 sa unahan. So, 8d over dx x cubed. So, gagawin mo rin kung anong ginawa mo dito. So, i-times mo rin yung 8 sa exponent niya. So, 8 times 3, x cube minus 1. So, ang answer ay g of x is equal to 24x squared. So, last na example ay h prime of x is equal to 5x to the power of 4. So, h prime of x is equal to d over dx 5x to the power of 4. So, h prime of x, gayahin mo lang kung anong ginawa mo sa first at second na example. So, is equal to 5d over dx x to the power of 4. So, h prime of x is equal to 5 times 4 x 4 minus 1. So, ang answer ay h prime of x is equal to 20x cubed.
Madali lang para ang power rule, Jake.
Oh, madali lang. At saka itong constant rule, madali lang siyang dalawa.
Salamat sa iyo.
Oh, walang problema yan.
So now we're going to discuss the rule number 3, which is constant times function. So if f of x equals to h of x plus g of x, then f prime of x is equals to h prime of x plus g prime of x. And if f of x is equals to h of x minus g of x, then f prime of x is equals to h prime of x minus g prime of x. So in constant times function rule, you're going to bring down the exponent and copy the variable and subtract the exponent with 1. So for example, h of x is equals to x cubed. So h prime of x is equals to d over dx x cubed. So you're going to bring down the exponent, which is 3, and copy x, and minus the, you're going to subtract the exponent with 1. So the h prime of x is equals to 3x squared. So this is the derivative of x cubed. Next is the g of x is equals to x to the power of derivative of x to the power of 5. So as the same, you're going to bring down the exponent and copy x and subtract 5 to 1. So g prime of x is equals to 5x to the power of 4. So that is the derivative of x to the power of 5. So in example number 3, you're going to answer that.
Kaya ko ba to?
Oo naman, ikaw pa.
So, g prime of x is equals to d over dx. Tapos i-copy na to yung x4. Diba yung sinabi mo kanina is i-bring down yung exponent.
Yeah.
So, magiging 4. Tapos i-copy yung variable. Tapos yung, diba yung exponent ni minus ng 1, no? Tapos 4 minus 1. So, yung g prime of x natin is equals to 4x cubed.
Very good. So, punta naman tayo sa rule number 4, which is sum and difference. So, if f of x is equals to h of x plus g of x, then f prime of x is equals to h prime of x plus g prime of x. If f of x is equals to h of x minus g of x, then f prime of x is equals to h prime of x minus g prime of x. So, for example, h of x is equals to 5x to the power of 4 plus 6x cubed plus 3x squared minus 7x plus 20. So, here it is a combination of constant rule and constant times function. So, h prime of x is equals to, you're going to derive each term. So, d of x, 5x to the power of 4 plus d over dx, 6x cubed plus d over dx, and 3x squared minus d over dx, 7x plus d over dx, 20. So here, you're going to transfer 5 here and copy the d of x, then x to the power of 4 plus 6, and derivative of x cubed plus 3, and derivative of x squared minus 7, and derivative of x plus the derivative of 20, which is, this is a constant rule, so constant rule is equals to 0, so 20 is equals to 0. So 5 times, bring down the exponent, which is 4, then 4 minus 1 is 3 plus 6 times 3x squared plus 3 times 2x minus 7. X is equivalent to 1, so times 1. And 5 times 4 is equals to 20x cubed plus 18x squared plus 6x minus 7. So this is the derivative. So h prime of x is equals to 20x cubed plus 18x squared plus 6x plus 7. So example number 2. Y of x is equals to 8x cubed minus 4x squared plus 20x minus 1. So y prime of x, so you're going to derive each term, so is equals to d over dx, 8x cubed minus d over dx, 4x squared plus d over dx, 20x minus d over dx, 1. So transfer 8, so 8, and times the derivative of x cubed minus 4, and the derivative of x squared plus 20, and the derivative of x minus the derivative of 1 is 0, and equals 8 times 3x squared minus 4 times 2x plus 20, and derivative of x is 1, so 20 24x squared minus 8x plus 20. So, y prime of x is equals to 20x squared minus 8x plus 20. So, example number 3, you're going to answer that.
So, g prime of x is equals to d over dx 6x to the power of 4 plus d over dx 5x cubed plus d over dx 4x squared minus d over dx 8x minus d over dx 30. So, put the 6 beside, then d over dx, the derivative of x to the power of 4 plus 5 d over dx x cubed plus 4 d over dx x squared minus 8 d over dx of derivative of x minus the derivative of 30. So, we're gonna multiply the given derivatives. So, 6 times bring down the 4 because it is what meant in the power rule. 4 x 4 minus 1 plus 5 times 3x 3 minus 1 plus 4 times 2x 2 minus 1 minus 8x minus, so in the constant rule, was equals to 0. So, we're gonna multiply na. So, 28x, so 4 minus 1 is 3 plus 15x squared plus 8x minus 8. So, this is the final answer.
Very good. So, that's it.
So ngayon, tuturuan naman kita ng product rule.
Ano ba naman yan? Diyan ako nahihirapan eh.
Hindi, madali lang ito. Magtiwala ka sa akin. So, rule number 5. Product rule. Given the function h of x equals f of x times g of x, its derivative is given by h prime of x equals f of x times g prime of x plus g of x times f prime of x, or should we say h prime of x equals u dv plus v du. Example number 1. G of x equals quantity of 2x minus 5 squared. So, first, expand this. After, this is the u and this is the v. I'm going to follow this. Equals g prime of x u 2x minus 5. So the derivative of v. So the derivative going to apply constant multiple. So the derivative of v is 2 plus 2x minus 5. The derivative of u is 2. So substitute 4x minus 10 plus 4x minus 10. After, combine the like terms. So, 4x plus 4x equals 8x. Substitute the positive and the negative, so it will become negative. So, negative 10 minus 10 equals minus 20. So, this is the final answer. G prime of x equals 8x minus 20. Number 2, f of x equals quantity of 4x minus 4 squared. So, f of x, we're going to expand this. So, 4x minus 4, 4x minus 4. So, u, 4x minus, the derivative of v is 4 plus 4x minus 4. The derivative of u is 4. Then, After is substitute. 4x times 4 is 16x minus 16 plus 16x minus 16x. So 16x minus 16 plus 16x. So negative minus 16. So 16x plus 16x equals 32. The 32x minus 32. So this is the final answer. F prime of x equals 32x minus 32.
Madali lang pala. Ito nga, last example. Turuan mo ako.
So, ganito yan. First, i-expand natin muna to. So, h of x equals 5x minus 3. So, tapos, copy the u, 5x minus 3. Then, the derivative of v, 5 plus v, 5x minus 3. So, the derivative of u is 5. Then, substitute. So, 25x minus 15. 25x minus 15. Yeah. Then, 25x minus 15. So, substitute the positive sign.
Plus
25x
minus
15. Add and minus the
like terms.
oh yeah. So 25x plus 25x equals 50x minus 30. So the final answer is h prime of x equals 50x minus 30.
Yes! Ang dali lang pala. Salamat sa iyo, Capa.
Okay lang yun. So, dito naman tayo sa quotient rule. So, rule number 6. Quotient rule. The derivative of quotient h of x equals f of x over g of x, where f and g are both functions of x. The derivative of this is h prime of x equals g of x times f prime of x minus f of x times g prime of x over g quantity of x squared. Or should we say h prime of x equals v du minus u dv over v squared. So, first, identify muna natin. So, u dv. So, the v is 4x minus 3. The derivative of u is 4. The v is 3x minus 2. The derivative of v is 3. Yeah. So, we're going to follow this. So, so, g prime of x equals 3x minus 2 times the derivative of u, which is 4, minus u, 4x minus 3, times the derivative of v, which is 3, over quantity of 3x minus 2 squared. After, we're going to substitute. So, 3x times 4 equals 12x minus 8 minus 12x minus 9. So, we're going to substitute the minus sign to the minus sign. So, it will become positive for 3x minus 2 squared. So, cancel out the different sign but same terms. So, the remaining is positive 8, positive 9 over 3x minus 2. So, 1 over quantity of 3x minus 2 squared. So the final answer is 1 over quantity of 3x minus 2 squared. So, example number 2.
Wait lang ka pa, parang ang hirap naman yan ah. Pero, itatry ko mas aking unawain sa ikalawang example mo.
Sige, sige. We're going to identify the UDV and the VDU first. So the U is 2x minus 4. The derivative of U is 2. So V is 4x minus 2. So the derivative of V is 4. So, tulad ng ginawa natin sa example 1, 4x minus 2 times the derivative of U, which is 2, minus 2x minus 4, the derivative of V, which is 4, over 4x minus 2, quantity of 4x minus 2 squared. Then, substitute. So, 8x minus 4, 8x, positive 16. So, why positive? Because negative 4 times 4 is negative 16. Then, substitute the minus sign. So, naging siyang positive. 24x minus 2 squared plus. Cancel out. So, the remaining is negative 4 plus 16 over 4 x h2 squared. So, negative 4 plus 16 is 12 over quantity 4x minus 2 squared. So, the final answer is f prime of x equals 12 over quantity of 4x minus 2 squared. So, dadaan naman tayo sa example number 3. U, du, v, dv equals
Teka ka pa, madali lang pa na ano.
Oh.
So, sa example number 3, mas itatry ko na mas aking i-master ang iyong mga tinuturo sa akin.
So, u, 3x plus 4. So, the derivative of u is 3. V, 2x minus 5. The derivative of v is 2. So, h prime of x equals 2x minus 5 times the derivative of u, which is 3 minus 3x plus 4 times the derivative of v, which is 2 over quantity of 2x minus 5 squared. So, substitute 2x times 3 equals 6x minus 15 minus 3x times 2 equals 6x. Then, 4 times 2 equals 8. Right, so negative 8 over 2x minus 5 squared. So, cancel out. So, the remaining is 15 over 2x squared equals. So, negative 23 over 20 of 2x minus 5 squared. So, the final answer is h prime of x equals negative 23 over quantity of 2x minus 5 squared.
Mas aking naintindihan sa iyong example number 3, Capa. Salamat sa iyo.
Walang anuman.
Parang ready na ako sumabak sa mga test ni Sir James ah. Sobrang salamat talaga.
Sige, wala anuman.
Cheska, since malapit na maggabi, i-re-continue na lang natin to.
Walang problema yan. Sige, salamat sa inyo lahat.
Sige, salamat din, Cheska.
Salamat talaga.
Bro!
Yeah.
Bye! Bye! Nasarap na ba si Cheska, guys? Oo, kanina pa.
fraction is a mathematical process of finding the derivatives of the trigonometric function. So, for example 1. So first you're gonna need to do is find its reciprocal identities, which is 1 over cos x. And then gonna apply it with the quotient rule, which is v times du minus u times dv over v squared. And then substitute cos x times 0 minus 1 times negative sin x over cos x squared. Then this one turns to 0, then negative sign distribute to this one, so it becomes positive. Then sin x over cos x squared. So, isa-isahin na lang natin. So, 1 over becomes 1 over cos x times sin x over cos x. Then, will become secant x becomes tan x. So that's the final answer. Nakuha mo na ba, Cheska?
Kuha ko na, Negad.
The second example is f of x is equal to cos x over 1 plus sin x. So first you're going to do is find the v, the derivative of v, the u, and the derivative of the u. So the v is 1 plus sin x, and derivative of the v is cos x. The u is cos x, and derivative is sin x. This given is going to substitute it with the quotient rule. Then, we're going to multiply it. So, negative sin x times 1 is equal to negative sin x. Positive sin x multiplied by negative sin x is negative sin squared x. And also here, negative cos x times cos x is negative cos squared x over 1 plus sin x. Then, as we all know in Pythagorean identities, sin squared x minus sin squared x and minus cos squared x is equivalent to 1. So, let's change it to 1. Then, you can cancel it out. So, the answer is negative 1 over the quantity of 1 plus sin x. So, our third example is f of x is equal to cot x or cotangent x. So, first thing you're going to do is reform it. In the quotient identities, cotangent is equivalent to cos x over sin x. So, let the cos x be your u and let the sin x be your v. Sin x, then your u is cos x. Then, get the derivatives of the v, cos x, derivatives of cos x is negative sin x. Then by using the quotient rule, sin x times and then multiply so in the Pythagorean theorem sin 2x minus cos 2x is equivalent to 1. So, this turns into 1 over sin x. So, 1 over sin is also equivalent to cosecant. So, let's reform it. That's the final answer. Kuha mo na ba, Cheska?
Kuha mo na, Negad.
Cheska, ito naman ang higher order derivatives. Higher order derivatives, the derivative is the rate of change of function at a specific point. The derivative of the function with respect to x at the point of x is a function of x which is given below. Here's our example. Y is equals to x to the power of 5 plus 5x to the power of 4 plus 12x cubed plus 4x squared plus 20 to the third derivative of the y. Ito ang paraan para makuha ang first derivative ng ating given. Ang derivative ng x to the power of 5 is 5x and ang derivative ng x to the power of 4 is 4. 4x cubed. 4x cubed. And the derivative of the 12x to the power of 3 cubed. X squared plus 4, 2x, and the constant is 0. So we're gonna times the 5x 5 times 4x equals to 20x cubed plus 12 times 3 equals 36x squared plus 8x. Here's our first derivative. Second, we're gonna use the answer of first derivative to get the second derivative. Here's the derivative of 5x4 to the power of 4. 5 is 4x cubed plus 20 times 3x squared plus 36 times 2x plus 8. And we're gonna multiply the and 5 multiplied by 4 is equals to 20x cubed plus 60x squared plus 72x plus 8. And here's the second derivative. So we're gonna use the second derivative to get the third one. 20 multiplied by 3x squared plus 60 multiplied by 2x plus 72x. So we're gonna multiply it again. 60x squared plus 120x plus 72x. So here's the third derivative of the given. Nakuha mo ba, Cheska, ang first example natin?
Madali lang pala, Glenny.
So Cheska, here's our second example, which is h of x is equal to x squared cosine x. In this example, we need to use the product rule, which is du plus u dv. We're gonna find the u and the b. U, b, derivative of u, derivative of b. Our u here is x squared, and our b here is cosine x. Our u is x squared, and the b is cosine x, and the derivative of u is 2x, and the derivative of b is negative sine x. For now, we need to use the formula. Our v here is cosine x, and our derivative of u is 2x plus the u is x squared multiplied by the derivative of v, which is negative sine x, and multiplied the 2x cosine x minus x squared sine x. And here's our first derivative of the function. In the second derivative, we need to use the answer of the first derivative. And again, we need to use the product rule. The formula of product rule again is v du plus u dv. And we're gonna find again the u and the v. We need to solve here first. U and the v. Our u here is 2x and our v is cosine x, and the derivative of u, which is 2, and the derivative of v is negative sine x. And now we need to use the formula. Our v here is cosine x, and the derivative of u is 2x plus the u is 2x multiplied by the derivative of v, which is negative sine x, minus, and we need to solve the second part, which is u here and the v. Again, we need to use the product rule. U, v, derivative of u, and the derivative of v. Our u here, the second part is x squared, and the v is negative sine x, and the derivative of u, which is 2x, and the derivative of sine x is cosine x. And we need to solve now using the formula. Our v here is sine x, and the derivative of u, which is 2x multiplied plus our u here is x squared multiplied by the derivative of v, which is cosine x. The answer here, the answer of the first term is cosine negative 2x cosine x plus minus 2x sine x minus the second part is 2x sine x plus x squared cosine x. And we need to distribute the negative here to the inside, which the answer is negative 2x sine x minus x squared cosine x. And we need to combine the like terms, which is negative 2x sine x. And the final answer of the second derivative is 2x cosine x minus 4x sine x minus x squared cosine x. And here's our final answer of the second derivative. Here's our third example of the higher order derivatives, which is f of x is equals to square root of x. We need to rewrite it first before solving it, which is x to the power of 1/2. And now we can solve properly. The derivative of x to the power of 1/2 is equals to 1 over 2x 1/2 minus 1 1/2 x to the power of negative 1/2. Here's our first derivative of the function. And now we need to use the answer of the first derivative to get the second one. And now we need to set aside the 1/2, and we need to find the derivative of x to the power of negative 1/2, which is negative 1/2 x, negative 1/2 here minus 1, and 1/2 negative 1/2 x, and the final answer here is negative 3 over 2. And we need to solve the 1/2 here, which is the answer is 1 over 4x to the power of 3 over 2. And here's our second derivative. And now we need to use the answer of second derivative to get the third one. And we need to set aside again the negative 1/4, and we need to find the derivative of x to the power of negative 3 over 2, which is 3 over 2x, and 3 over 2 minus 1, and negative 1/4, negative 3 over 2. And the answer here is negative 5 over 2. We need to solve now the 1/4 and the 3 over 2. Which the answer is, we need to multiply here and here. Which the answer is 3 over 8x to the power of 5, negative 5 over 2. And here's our final answer of the function. So nakuha mo ba, Cheska, ang ating example?
So the definition of chain rule is a formula to compute the composite function. So let's proceed to example number 1. So our given function is y is equal to square root of 13x squared minus 5x plus 8. So in able to solve it easily, we can just rewrite it to h of y is equal to 13x squared minus 5x plus 8 with an exponent of 1/2. So next, we're gonna minus our exponent by 1. So it will become 13x squared minus 5x plus 8 with an exponent of 1/2 minus 1. So next, our function will be 13x squared minus 5x plus 8. 1/2 minus 1 is equal to negative 1/2. So the formula of the chain rule is dy over dx is equal to derivative of the outside function within the inside alone, multiplied by derivative of inside function. So we're gonna compute the derivative of the inside function. So it will become 26x minus 5. So after that, our function will become, after that we will multiply the derivative of the inside function times 1/2. So in able to get the negative exponent, we just rewrite it to 1 over 13x squared minus 5x plus 8 times 1/2 times 26x minus 5. So the final answer will be h time of y is equal to 26x by square root of 13x squared minus 5x plus 8.
So, ito yung example number 2. Ito ang example number 2 natin ay quotient rule na chain rule. So, dahil quotient siya, i-inverse mo natin siya. So, ito ang kakalabasan pag in-inverse mo itong given na to. So, magiging x cube plus 8x. Magiging negative yung cube kapag in-inverse niya. Pagkatapos, i-apply natin yung formula ng chain rule. So, ang formula ng chain rule is derivative the outside function leaving the inside alone times derivative the inside function. So, i-apply natin yung formula. So, derivative the outside function. So, negative 3 times squared and x squared plus 8 negative cube times derivative sa inside function. So, 2x. Pagkatapos, i-multiply natin yung negative 3 and 2x. So, ito yung kakalabasan. So, magiging negative 6x x squared plus 8 and negative 4. Nakalimutan ko, kapag pag nagde-derivative ka na sa outside function, so magma-minus 1 tayo. So, negative 3 minus 1 is equals to negative 4 because same sign sila. So, pagkatapos nito, para makuha mo yung final answer, i-integrate mo siya. So, negative 6x over x cubed plus 8 equals to positive 4. So, ito yung final answer, Cheska. So, nakuha mo na ba, Cheska?
Nakuha ko na, sis. Salamat sa iyo.
So, ito yung example number 3 natin, Cheska. Ang example number 3 natin, Cheska, ay chain rule na product rule. Since product rule siya, itong dalawang to, i-chain rule natin. So, i-chain rule muna natin yung x to the 4. 4x cubed. Then, copy mo lang yung 5x minus 1 cubed. Then, plus, then i-chain rule na din natin yung ikalawa. So, yung 5x. So, copy the 4. Then, 5x minus 1. 3 minus 1. Yes. Next step ay derivative sa inside function. So, ang derivative ng inside function ay 5. So, pagkatapos mo ma-apply yung formula, i-distribute mo yung x to the 4 sa 3. So, 4x 5x minus 1 equals 3 plus 3x 4. Pagkatapos ma-distribute, i-distribute mo rin ulit. So, i-distribute mo yung 4x to the 4 sa 5. So, distribute mo. Tapos na natin mag-distribute. So, ang gagawin natin dito, since hindi natin mako-combine yung dalawang exponent natin, kasi 3 and 4. So, ang gagawin natin, ipapalabas natin yung x squared. So, x squared. Then, copy mo lang yung huli. 5x minus 1 plus, since pinalabas mo yung x cube, so magiging 4 na lang yan. 4. So 4. Then x cube, so makakancel tong cube na to. So, Pagkatapos mo, may palabas yung x cube. So, ito yung final answer. X minus 1 cube. So, 35x minus 4. So,
Application of the derivatives. Derivatives are maximizing or minimizing some function relative to some set, often representing of a range of choices available in a certain situation. The function allows comparison of the different choices for determining which might be the right.
Okay, for example, a farmer has 4,000 feet of fencing and wants to create a rectangular field along a river. He needs no fence along the river. What is the largest area of the rectangular field? So first thing you need to do is to illustrate the problem. So rectangular field along a river. So what is asked is the largest area of the rectangular field. So you need to find the area. So A equals x times y. So this is the width and this is the length. So length. So next thing to do is to find the perimeter. P equals x plus 2y. Then substitute the P with its perimeter, which is 4,000 feet, equals x plus. Because we need to find the x, you need to transpose the 2y. So 4,000 times 2y is x. After that, we need to find the area. A equals x times y. Because we have the value of the x, we will substitute this. And then distribute. After that, we need to find the derivative form of this. So, A prime equals 4,000 minus 4y. Next thing to do, because we need to find the y, 4,000 4y. Then you need to transpose the 4y because we need to find the y. So 4,000 equals 4y. And then divide it by 4. So the answer is 1,000 y. After that, we need to go back here. We need to go back here to find the value of x. So x equals 4,000. Because we now have the value of y, we need to substitute. Then 4,000 equals that's A. Now we have the value of x and y. We can now find the area. So A equals so 2,000 times y 1,000 equals
number 2. We need to enclose a rectangular field with a fence. We have 50 feet of fencing materials and the building is on the side of the field and so won't need fencing. Determine the dimension of the field that we will enclose the largest area. So Jessica, first thing you need to do is to illustrate the problem. So x times y. So next we need to find the perimeter. X plus y. So our perimeter is 500 feet. And then transpose 2y. The next thing you need to do is to find the area. A of x times y, also, because we have the value of x, we need to substitute it. 500 minus 2y times y. Then substitute 500y minus 2y squared. The next thing to do is to find that derivative form. A prime equals 500 minus 4y. Then 500 minus 4y equals 0. So because we need to find the y, transpose the 4y, so 500 equals 4y. Then divided by 4. So the answer is 125y. Next, x equals 500y plus 2y. So because we have the value of y, we need to substitute it. Y. So 500 minus 250. So now we both have the value of y and x, so we can finally get the final area. A equals x times y. A equals 150 times 125 equals 31,250 feet squared. So that's the final answer.
So Jessica, this is about application of derivatives on related rates. So related rates problems involves finding a rate in which a quantity changes by relating that quantity to other quantities whose rates of change are known. So for example, water is being poured at the rate of 10 cubic meter per second into a cylindrical tank of radius 5 meters and altitude 20 meters. How fast is the water level rising when the water level is at 6 meters? So we already draw the problem so that we can just visualize it, mas imagine na to. And after that, let T be the amount of time that elapsed when the water is poured in the tank. Let H be the surface level of the water at any time. So number 10 is associated to a change in volume at any time. So let T be the amount of time that had elapsed when the water is poured to the tank, and let H be the surface level of the water at any time, and 10 is associated to a change in volume at any time. So we'll do first the implicit differentiation with respect to time or t. V is equals to the radius of 5 squared h. 5 meters. dv over dt. This is the implicit differentiation. dv over dt is equals to 25 radius times dh over dt. That is the given. So by using implicit differentiation with respect to time, dv over dt is equals to 25 pi times dh dt. Why 25 pi? It's because from here, the 5 is being 1 as the exponent of 2, so we'll give it, so it will become like this. So then the 25 pi here, we are going to reciprocate it, so it will become 1 over 25 pi times dv over dt. So you can see, we just transpose the dh dt from 1 kani dv over dt. And then the 25 pi, we reciprocate it. So it will become like this. dh over dt. H is equals to 6 because H is the surface level of water at any time. 1 over 25 pi times 10. So we substitute dv over dt to 10. Multiply it. Just multiply from numerator to numerator, then denominator to denominator. So we all know that 10 has imaginary 1 sa denominator. We will just multiply it. It will result to 10 over 25 pi. And then it still can be reduced to 5 meter per minute.
This is the example number 2 of the application of derivatives related rates. A ladder 8 meter long leans against a model home. If the bottom of the ladder slides away from the building horizontally at a rate of 0.75 meters per second, how fast is the ladder sliding down the model home when the top of the ladder is 5 meters from the ground? So before we go to the application of derivatives, let's illustrate this one. Suppose this is the ladder and this is the ground. We're gonna use the Pythagorean formula to know what are the givens. So the Pythagorean formula is a squared plus b squared is equals to c squared. The a squared is 3x and x has no value in the problem, and b squared is the y, and the y here is 5 meters, and c squared is the ladder, which has 8 meters. And then after this, we're gonna substitute. A squared is the x, so x squared plus b squared y plus y squared is equals to c squared, which is 8 squared. And then after this, to get the x, you'll transpose 5 to 8. You'll transpose 5 in here. So the positive 5 squared will be negative 5 squared. So the remaining one will just copy this. X squared is equals to 8 squared, which is 64, minus 5 squared, which is 25. So, and then you're gonna subtract this too. X squared is equals to 39. To cancel out the squared, you're gonna square root this too. this, we're gonna use the application of derivative related rates. We're gonna use this again. So, but we'll change it to x and y. So x squared plus y squared is equals to 8 squared. By using the derivative rule, your exponent will be your whole number, and you're gonna subtract your exponent by 1. So 2, you'll copy 2x. Yeah, 2 minus 1 will be 1. So then, and this one too. So 2y equals to 0. Because in derivatives, constant is 0. And then derivatives again, we're going to use derivatives. So 2x, the derivative of 2x over the plus 2, the derivative of 2y is equals to 0. And then the next process is you're going to substitute x and y. So 2 and the value of x is 6.24 times the rate of the ladder slides away from the building, in which the rate is 0.75 plus 2, the value of y is 5, dy over dt is equals to 0. And the next process is you're gonna multiply this 3, and the result is 9.36 plus 2 times 5 equals 10. dy over dt is equals to 0. And after the process of this, you're gonna divide both sides by 10. And then you'll cancel this one, and the remaining one you'll just copy it. dy over dt, and then 9 divided by 10, 9.36 divided by 10, the answer is 0.936 meters per second, and that is the speed of the ladder sliding down the mountain. This is your final answer.
Guys, thank you so much. I'm just get my phone and capture this moment. What's up? This is me, Cheska again, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So here are my classmates, so how they go through my difficulties in math. Say hi to my camera! Hey! What's up? So I just want to say thank you to Oshi and Glenny who gathered my classmates to help me go through my difficulties in math. So I think this is it. And continue to subscribe and like my channel. Say bye to the camera! Bye-bye!